Okay, good morning, Discrete math class. I guess this would be my 2AB class that I'm speaking with here because I'm absent here on Monday the 15th. I wanted to go over your assignment with you before you go over and do the quiz. All right, so what we have to do is we have to come up with a priority list, and this is what we went over at the end of last week. Okay, so we look to see what our critical paths are, and right now we have let's see, 5 plus 5 plus 3, that would be 13. We got 5 plus 5 plus 2, that would be 12. We got 9 plus 5 plus 3 would be 17. And we have 9 plus 5, which would just be 14. Okay, and as you can see right here, the biggest, or we got 9, 5, and 2, which would be 16. Okay, so the biggest one that we have right here is the 17, and that was 9, 5, and 3. So T2, T4, and T5, those added up to 17. So we take the very first task from that list, and that goes first in our priority list. So we remove that now. Okay, so that 9 is no longer there. All right, so now what we have is we have 5, 5, and 3, so we still have the 13 that's in play. We have 5, or we have 5, 5, and 2, which is 12. Okay, so we got, and then of course we have the 3 up here. Okay, so 5, 5, and 3 is 13, 5, 5, and 2 is 12, and then 5, just 5 by itself is just 5. So 13 is the biggest one. So we have T1, T4, and T5 that add up to 13. And we take the first task from that list, which is T1, and that goes next. Okay? So done with T1 right there. So now let's see what our critical paths look like. It's starting to become a bit of a mess. We have 5 plus 3, which is 8. We have 5 plus 2, which is 7. We have 5, of course, by itself here. Or we have 3. So 8 is the biggest. So T4 and T5. T4 plus T5, that adds up to 8. Take the first task in that list, and that goes next. That's T4. Okay, so T2, T1, T4. All right, so we got T4 out of the way. Now, there's really no more paths. Now it's just down to individual tasks. And we take the bigger ones here. So T5 is bigger than 3, 3, and 2. So we're going to go T7. And then 2 of them are 3. So when it comes down to between 2 of them, then you go with the one with the lower number. Okay? 3 comes before 5. So we're going to take T3 and then T5. And then the last one, of course, would be T6. So that's your priority list. Okay, so now we have to create a schedule using this priority list. So we look to see which ones are ready at the very beginning. And that would be 3, 1, and 2. Okay, well, 2 has priority over all of those. So 2 is going to go first. I hope you can see that. It's 9 minutes. T2 is 9 minutes. Okay, so we got T2 going. I'm going to check that off. T1 is next in the priority list, and it goes for 5 minutes. So it'll be down here. 5 would be probably about right there. And we're going to call that T1. Okay, so these 2 right here, 4 and 7, they have lines coming into it from 2. So they can't go till 2 finishes. So in the meantime, T3, that's up there, that's ready to go. We can squeeze it in as soon as T1 is done. So 3 minutes, 5 plus 3 is 8, and we got T3. Okay? So in the meantime, when T2 finishes at the 9-minute mark, these are the next 2 that can start. Okay? But we're not going to be able to start anything at 8 minutes. So we're going to have to bring this down, label it 9, and you have a 1-minute block of idle time. Okay? So now we get to 4 and we get to 7. 4 has priority over 7. So 4 is going to go up here. You can see that it's 5. 9 plus 5 will take us to 14. No, it's hard to see that. That's a 14 right there. That's T4. And T7, so we got T4. T7 is 5. So 9 plus 5 is also 14. So both of these bring us to the 14-minute mark. Okay? So now, as soon as T4 is done, that opens up 5 and 6. All right? And according to this, 5 has priority over 6. Okay? 5 has priority over 6, which simply means that 5 is going to get the top machine and 6 is going to get the bottom machine. So 5 is 3 minutes long. 14 plus 3 brings us to 17. T5. And then T6 is 2 minutes. 14 plus 2 is 16. All right, so we have T6 down here. All right, so you got 17, you got 16. So this has a total completion time of 17 minutes. Okay, so hopefully that helps you with that one. All right, so let's go down here to number 2. And we're essentially going to do the same thing right here. Okay, now we got to get all of these possible critical paths. So if we go 8 plus 12 is 20, plus 5 is 25, plus 13 would be 38. If we went 8, 20, 25, 29, and 8, that'd be 37. Okay. If we go 10, 22, 27, and 13, that'd be 40. If we went 10, 22, 27, 36, plus 8 would be 44. Or we can go 10, 25, 34, 42. So the biggest number right here is the 44. So the hard part is going to be which path was that? I think it was 22, 27, 30. Yeah, it was this one here. Okay, so it went T2, T3, T5, T6, and T7 all added up to 42. T2 is the first task in that group, so T2 is first in the priority list. Okay, so we get rid of that one. All right, now we still have we get rid of 40. Was there anything that, so you took 10 away from essentially these ones here. Okay, so let's see, what do we have now? If we go this way, we can't go up and over now. Okay, we could start at 4. That would be 15 plus 9 is 24, plus 8 is 32. So we still have a 32 down here. We still got what we had up here, which was straight across, and straight across was what gave us the 38. We don't have the 40 anymore. Or we could go straight over, down and over, and that was the one that gave us, let's see, 25 plus 17. That's the one that gave us the 42. Okay, 20, 25, 34, 42, right. So we have choice here between 38, 42, and 32. Obviously, we're going to go with the 42. Okay, so the 42 is the one that starts off T1, T3, T5, T6, and T7. That added up to 42. So T1's the beginning of that, So that comes next in the priority list. Okay? So we simplify it down a little bit here. Now we got all these numbers out here. They're probably irrelevant now. Let's see what we got here. We got 12 plus 5, 17, plus 13 is 30. We got 17 plus 9 is 26, plus 8 is 34. Okay. We went straight across, we went down, and then we got 15, 9, and 8. That would be, 24 plus 8, that would be 32. Okay, so you have 30, 34, and 32. Obviously, we're going to go with 34. That was this one here. It was T3, T5, T6, and T7. That added up to 34. We take the first task from that list, which is T3, and that's what goes next in our list right there. Okay? All right, now it starts to get a little bit easier. We still have the 32 going here, but up here we just have 18, or we got 14 plus 8, which is 22. Okay, so this is the bigger one here. This one adds up to 32 still. So we got T4, T6, and T7, which adds up to 32. And we take the first task from that list, which is T4. Okay? Now it's getting down to where it's more simplified. Okay? This is 18. This would be 22. Okay? 18, or if you go this way, it's 22. 22 is bigger. So T5, T6, T7. T5, T6, T7 adds up to 22. We'll take the T5. Okay, so now you have a path here that's 17. 9 plus 8 is 17. So we got T6 and T7, which adds up to 17. We'll take the T6. And now it's down to just the 13 and the 8, okay? 13 is bigger than 8, so we'll go T8, and then lastly T7. Okay, so we got the priority list established. All right, now we got to go through and we got to do the schedule and see how this works. So at the beginning, you have two tasks that are ready to go right off the bat, T1 and T2. Well, T2 has priority, so that's going to go on machine 1. T2, 10 minutes, machine 1. Okay? T1 is going to go next, but it's going to go on machine 2 only for 8 minutes. Okay? Now, the next two that can go would be 3 and 4. Okay? But they're both dependent upon T2 going. T2 doesn't finish until 10 minutes. So neither one of these can start before 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to drop this down. And what that does, it creates 2 minutes of idle time on machine 2. Now at this point, now 3 and 4 can both go. 3 has priority over 4, so 3 is 12 minutes. 10 plus 12 is 22. Got that done. T4 is going to go down here. 10 plus 15 is 25. Okay, we got that out of the way. Okay, now T5. Let's see about T5. T5 can go when T3 is done. Okay, and T3 finishes before T4, so T5 can go right here. It's 5 minutes long. 22 plus 5 would take us to 27. Get rid of that one. In the meantime, T4 finishes up. And T4, that doesn't quite open T6 yet, though. You see, T6 really can't go until 5 and 4 are both done. Well, 4 is done here, but 5's not going to finish until 27 minutes. Okay, so we're going to have to wait until the 27-minute mark, and that creates 2 more minutes of idle time on machine 2. Okay, and at that point, Now 6 is ready, but 8 is also ready also. But 6 has priority over 8. 2 machines are available, so 6 is going to go up here. 9 minutes. 26 plus 9 is 36. Okay, and then T8 will go down here, 13. 27 plus 13 takes us to 40. And then T7 doesn't have to wait for T8 to finish. T7 can go as soon as T6 is done. It's 8 minutes long. 36 plus 8 takes us out to 44. And that would be T7. So the total completion time here is 44 minutes. Okay, so that's number 2. Okay, number 3. All right, so in number 3, we got to get our priority list established here, and there's not as many paths this time. You got 4 plus 8 plus 3, which is 15. So 15 is an option. You got 5, 8, and 3, which is 16, so that's a possibility. And you got 3, 7, and 3, which is 13. 16 is obviously the bigger one. So 16 was 5, 8, and 3. So T2, T5, and T4, that added up to 16. T2 was at the beginning of that. So T2 is the first one in the priority list. Okay? So that takes out T2 now. So now you got the 15 and you got the 13. Okay? 15 is bigger than 13. So T1, T5, T4. And we'll take the first task of that group. So T1 is next. Okay, so now you have 8 plus 3, which is 11, or you have these 3, which is 13. Obviously, 13 is bigger, so T3, T6, T4. And we'll take T3. Okay, so now it's 8 plus 3 or 7 plus 3. 8 plus 3 is obviously bigger. So that's T5 and T4, which add up to 11. So we'll take T5. And then it's T6 and T4, so obviously 6 and then 4. Okay, so we got our priority list now. All right, so now we got to go through and we got to see how this comes together here. So we have 3 tasks that are ready at the very beginning. 1, 2, and 3. 2 has priority over 1 and then 3. So 2 is going to go first on machine 1, 5 minutes long. It's 5 right there. T2. Okay? And then T1 is going to go a little bit shorter, only 4 minutes. And then it's done. Okay? All right, now, 1 and 2 have to be done before 5 can go. So that means that 5 can't go until the 5-minute mark. In the meantime, at the 4-minute mark right here, 3 is still ready, so you can get 3 going. It's 3 minutes long. 4 plus 3 would take us up to 7. Okay, so T3, and now that one's done. Okay, so now, at the 5-minute mark, that opens up T5. Okay, T6 doesn't open up until 3 is done. 3 is still working. Okay, so at the 5-minute mark, that opens up T5. So that's 8 minutes. 5 plus 8 is 13. It'll take us out to maybe about here. T5. Okay, and then down here we'll add the 7 onto this. Okay, 7 plus 7 is 14. T6. okay? And now T4 is the last one, and T4 can't go until 5 and 6 are both done. Well, 5's done at 13, but 6 isn't done till 14. So at 14 minutes, both machines are available, so you're going to have to take the one on top. So we have to extend this up. Creates 1 minute of idle time on machine 1, and then you'll have T4 go, and it's 3 minutes. 14 plus 3 is 17, and there's your schedule. And your total completion time, 17 minutes. Okay? All right, so that's 1, 2, and 3 right there. Obviously, the fact that you have to make a priority list makes it a little bit longer to do, okay? But then the scheduling is fairly simple. Okay, now, on the back side here for your assignment, you have to put decreasing time, which would be 8, 7, 5, 4, 8, 7, 5, 4, and then we got 2 3s. Now, the completion time should be the sum divided by how many machines you have. In this case, I have 2 machines. So if we add these up, 8 plus 7, 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27, plus 3 is 30. 30 divided by 2 machines, we should have a completion time of 15. All right, so these are all in priority. 8 has priority, so 8, they're not labeled with tasks, so we'll just call it 8. And then 7 will go down here on machine 2. 7, we'll just call it the 7 here, okay? The 5 can go next. Well, 7 is done before the 8's done, so the 5 is going to squeeze in here. 7 plus 5, that'll take us to 12. Which means that the 4 can go up here then, okay? 4 doesn't have to wait for 5 to be done. 8 gets done in the meantime, so we got 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. There shouldn't be any... On these problems here, there really shouldn't be any idle time. And then we're down to the 3 and the 3, okay? So the 3, the first 3 will get the top machine, so 12 plus 3 is 15, and then the next 3 should get the bottom machine, and 12 plus 3 is 15. So we do, in fact, get 15 minutes, and this is the configuration right here, okay? Number 2. We'll go with the decreasing order right here. So 8's the biggest, then 6, then 5, 8, 6, 5, then you got a 4, then we got a 3, and then we got a 2. Okay? Completion time, we add them up. 14, 19, 23, 26, 28. You add them up, you get 28. And you got 2 machines. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So we should get 14 minutes. Okay, so machine 1 gets the 8. Machine 2 gets the 6. The 6 gets done first, so the 5 can go on machine 2. 6 plus 5 is 11. That would be up to about here. The 4 is going to get, machine 1 is going to get the 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, the 3 is going to go down here because this one gets done first. So 11 plus 3 will get us to 14. And then the 2 is going to go up here, and 12 plus 2 is also 14. So the 14 minutes does, in fact, work here. Okay? Number 3. So we got 9, then 8, then 6, then 4, then 3. That's decreasing order. Okay? We add them up. 17, 23, 27, 30. Okay, 30 divided by 2 machines, that should get us to 15. Okay, so we should get a 15-minute completion time. So machine 1's going to get the 9. Machine 2 will get the 8. The 6 can go on machine 2 because that gets done first. 8 plus 6 is 14. The 4 will go up here. Okay, 9 plus 4, that'll get us to 13. Oops, I'm sorry, this has to be 6. And this is 14 down here. Okay, and then the last one left is the 3 here. Okay, now the 3 is going to have to go right here because the 4 gets done before the 6 does. Okay, so 13 plus 3, that gets us to 16. Okay, now completion time is not always going to be right on the 15. A lot of times it will be right on the 15, but there are times when it may be off by a minute or sometimes half a minute or something like that. Okay, and that's what happened right here. Okay, so we have that one there. Completion time 15. Okay, in reality it was 16. Okay, but this gives us what it normally would be. Okay, all right, and then number 4, we got 9. We got a pair of 8s. Okay, we got a 5. We got a 4 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so completion time, we add them up. 17, 25, 30, 34, 36. Divided by 2 machines, that should give us 18. Okay. 17, 25, 30, 34. Okay, yeah. So 9 comes first. Okay. The 8 okay, the 8's going to go on machine 2. That'll go right about here. Then you have second 8. Now, the second 8's going to go right here because this one gets done first. Okay, so 8 plus 8, that would be 16. The 5 is going to go up here. 9 plus 5 is 14. The 4 is going to go up here as well because this one gets done before the machine 2 gets done. So 14 plus 4 is 18. And then the 2 will go down here. 16 plus 2 gets us to 18. Okay, so this one actually works this time. Most of the time it'll work. Every once in a while you'll get one that varies just a little bit. Okay? All right, so that was the homework assignment right there. I wanted to go over those with you. And so your assignment for today, and you don't have to finish it all today because tomorrow I'll be working on it as well, is the quiz right here, okay? I know it says optional. Okay, this is not optional. Okay, I want you to take this as a quiz. We got 1, 2. We got 3, 4, 5. And we got 6, 7, and 8. Okay? 6, 7, and 8, these ones you do like we did the last ones that we just finished up doing. Okay? You do them like you do these ones here. Okay? Just put them in descending order and make them work that way. Okay? So that's your assignment, folks, for today and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. And Shoot me a message through Teams if you're having any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you then on Tuesday. Okay? All right. Have a good day. I hope everything goes well.